Hi, I'm Winston Binch, Chief Brand and Experience Officer at Gale, coming live from Sport Beach. We have Conrad Anker with us here today, a legendary climber, one of my great friends, board member of Protect Our Winners. You're here to talk about sports and sustainability. Most people know you as being the leader of the North Face team for 26 years. How and why are we talking about sustainability?
Well, thanks, Winston, and thanks, Sport Beach, for the invitation here. It's a real treat to be here. Sustainability, if you're a mountain climber, the mountains are there, we go enjoy them, but they don't have a way to express what's going on. Having seen climate change firsthand in the high mountains, the receding glaciers, it's sort of my voice to be the ears and of the mountains and to share what's going on out there.
Yeah. How did you get involved? How did the climate journey start for you?
The beginning of the climate journey, probably with my dad. He was an activist, so he stood up for the environment and social justice. So he instilled in me a need to speak out for things. And probably more than anything, spending time outdoors and seeing how this landscape is changing and that it's a reflection of how our planet is changing.
Yeah. And then, we were talking about this before, but, one thing you've been really effective with is using your fame and to really drive change around sustainability and opening up new conversations, but it's not easy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we love social media and we get to exchange things, but there is a fair amount of negativity that pervades it, and so my goal is to smother them with positivity and kindness, so calling out injustices when they affect other people, but moreover offering optimism to people.
Yeah, you do a good job with it. Talk about some of the sustainability or nonprofits you've worked with in the outdoor space before.
With the Conservation Alliance, which is the outdoor industry trade group, giving small grants to local North American environmental groups. I was on the board for a dozen years. And now with Protect Our Winners, being there with a decade and working with our founder, Jeremy Jones. So I've got this platform, so I might as well use it.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about, one thing that really has always drawn me to Protect Our Winners is how they use athletes to drive the message. Can you talk a little bit about how they do that?
Yeah, the message from Protect Our Winners, encouraging young athletes, people that are experiential outdoors athletes, to talk about the environment, giving them the tools, the responsibility, the direction, how to get involved in the legislative action that we have in the United States, but then also seeing this go across the planet. So whether to Europe to Asia, that the youngsters are like, we can identify with Protect Our Winners.
Yeah, and you've done a bunch of DC trips, right, down and lobbied. Can you talk a little bit about that and that experience like?
Well, lobbying. Yeah. When you're a skier or climber and you come in, they're like, hey, we need to protect the environment. And then you see the professional lobbyists, and they're on behalf of coal and oil. So we've got to speak up. So we're using our voice, and we have a wonderful system, but we always have to keep putting into it. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to communicate us the way we need to.
One of the things that's been always inspiring and interesting to me is that when you go to DC with athletes like yourself, doors open, and it really helps. Now, switching gears a little bit, can you talk to me about? You've done some just amazing expeditions and adventures over the course of your life. What's been a favorite?
Oh, my favorite trip to this date is Meru. So it was a special opportunity to realize a life goal. It took me 3 expeditions, and I fold that memory up and keep it close to my heart, and I think about it.
Yeah, it's an amazing film if people haven't seen it. What are you optimistic about?
The future, I'm optimistic. The youth, the kids that are getting into it, into climate. So I was speaking to a group of elementary school children, and it was the same presentation I gave the Montana State Legislature. And they're like, oh, we're going to act on this, and we're going to, same PowerPoint. When I was at the legislature in Montana, they're like, where did you get your facts? It's not right. This is just tearing me down. Whereas the kids are like, okay, we're going to start recycling aluminum. We're going to make sure we save our rubber bands. And they wanted to get in on it. So those moments like that give me optimism.
All right, thanks for an insightful conversation. You can follow us at #SportBeach2023. Thank you.